everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I'm here to talk about what the Marvel Disney Plus shows actually are. Now, I don't know what I'm going to end up titling this video, but in short, this is going to be about what I learned about the Disney Plus shows, because before the Disney Plus shows, as we talked about many times, there was the Netflix stuff, there was the stuff on ABC, there was stuff on Hulu, and for the most part, none of that is connected to the main MCU. We still have disagreements about how connected the Netflix Daredevil and Daredevil is connected to the MCU. I still say that Wilson Fisk and Matt Murdock are really actually rebooted characters. They're like soft rebooted characters. But you know what? We can argue about that on another note. But before the Disney Plus shows, it was always debatable. Then we have 5 shows that all star characters who have already been in the films. We got Wandavision, Vision and Wanda, who have been in multiple movies. We got Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, who both were in multiple movies. They were in, well, one movie was called Captain America: The Winter Soldier. We got Loki, who was the main villain in both Thor and the Avengers, and he's been a fan favorite for a long time. We got Hawkeye, who's been in Civil War, the first of almost every Avenger movie except Infinity War, and we got What If, which is a bunch of stories, which is an animated thing, but it brought back most of the voice cast from the OG films as well. And what I'm starting to get the hang of, or at least what I'm starting to actually accept and starting to come to the conclusion of, is that what the Disney Plus shows actually are not epilogues. Wait, is it prologue? Is epilogues after, right? Prologues. Let's say prologues. They're designed to put the characters in positions for the films. They're designed to get through the stuff that Kevin Feige deemed not that it's not worth talking about, but the stuff that he doesn't want to have to go into in films. And when I took a step back and looked at it and started looking at every one of the shows and where the characters were left off at, and at the end of all the shows, I'm like, I see. This is what Disney Plus is for the MCU. Disney Plus is the place where they can give the characters who they don't have time to give more attention to in the films, or they just need to put these characters in positions without having to spend too much time on that. Because think about it. When they made the decision, I'm just going with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. When they made the decision to pick Falcon to be the Captain America, me and many others, I'd say about 85% of the MCU fandom accepted that. But there was a nice chunk of people. There's a nice little chunk. There's a nice, 15%? Yeah, there's a nice 15% who did not accept that. And we talked about that when Falcon and the Winter Soldier came out, and I talked about it multiple times. But there was a chunk of people who did not accept that as an answer, who did not accept Falcon as Captain America, didn't feel like he did enough, didn't feel like they got it, they didn't get why he deserved to be Captain America. So they make Falcon and the Winter Soldier mainly for one thing, and that's why I said I think every single one of these Disney Plus shows all of them are by far above 7s, 7s out of 10s, or at least 8s, because every single one of these shows accomplished what their task was. The main goal of Falcon and the Winter Soldier is to make you, me, and everyone else not only know more about Sam, understand Sam, have more respect for Sam, but believe and even want him to take this mantle of Captain America and be happy for him. I will tell you right now, while Falcon and the Winter Soldier isn't my favorite out of the 5 shows, I still enjoyed it. I still would have given the show a total of 8 out of 10. The moment Sam had the Captain America suit and was flying around, every moment of him in that suit and the last episode was the most overwhelmingly joyous thing I felt at all of the Disney Plus shows. Seeing him in that suit, seeing him as Captain America, there was something I almost teared up. It was just so beautiful. And that's what this is about. So now, They could just do Captain America 4 without having to do anything, without having to explain, without having to be like, what? So anybody who has any issues, he's here. Same thing with so many other things. How did the multiverse explode and get started in the first place? We can do that in Loki. We don't even have to go into it when we do Multiverse of Madness. We don't even have to go into it when we do Quantum Mania. We just introduce this here so we don't have to go into that. Wandavision. They needed Wanda. Not only did they need Wanda to be called the Scarlet Witch, to have the outfit, and they needed her to power up to a scale to which she would be important for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. But and they needed her to work through her whole vision thing. Because she had just lost Vision, we hadn't really got time to see her grieve or whatnot. So you gotta imagine if they wouldn't have done WandaVision and just did Doctor Strange and just had her show up in Doctor Strange as her next appearance, there would have been like at least 20 minutes of screen time dedicated to her dealing with the loss of Vision, and to them explaining her power upgrade and whatnot. And if some of the rumors of her becoming a villain is true, it would have come out of left field, her becoming a villain in Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. But if those rumors are true, it won't because of WandaVision. As you can see, every single one of these shows are designed to put these characters and to ease the burden on the films. And when you really sit back and take a step back and really understand that that's the purpose of every one of these shows, then they're doing a fantastic job. They got these characters in position so they don't have to go into it. They don't have to go into it at all. You want Hawkeye to be more heroic. And that's the thing. Hawkeye, it just dawned on me at the end of Hawkeye when I was like, okay, they probably wanted Hawkeye to get past this whole Ronin thing, to be more heroic and get past this whole wanting to retire thing, and introduce Kate Bishop as a reasonable replacement for Clint Barton. They did that. This is the reasons all these shows exist, which kind of when you take a step back maybe hurts all the shows, that even some of these shows that are self-contained, like a WandaVision and a Loki and Falcon, and even Hawkeye's pretty self-contained. You realize that they only exist to put these characters in positions for the bigger films. And really, we're really not gonna see what Disney Plus is all about until we get to the brand new characters, until we get to Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, and She-Hulk. That's when we'll finally those are the shows where we'll finally get to really see what Disney Plus is about, what the MCU Disney Plus shows are about. Because so far, I believe that every single one of these shows are just prologues to the movies, that they're really designed to put these characters in spots so that they don't have to explain certain tidbits that were introduced in the shows. They don't want to have to explain where John Walker came from. They don't want to have to explain why Bucky is actually is over his PTSD. They don't want to have to explain how the multiverse exploded in the first place and who's responsible for that. Even What If serves a purpose. What If only exists so that they don't have to explain to you what the multiverse is. They don't have to explain to you what it looks like because there's an entire animated series dedicated to what it looks like. So they don't even have to explain to you what it looks like. And honestly, it's an ingenious tool. It's an ingenious tool in the belt to have the ability to make shows, to answer questions, and to deal with shit that you don't got the time to deal with. Honestly, if Disney Plus existed back when the MCU first started and whatnot, you gotta imagine how many Disney Plus shows there would have been. There probably would have been a Disney Plus show for War Machine. There probably would have been a Disney Plus show for the Warriors 3. There probably would have been a Disney Plus show for I'm trying to think. You gotta go on and on. There would have been so many Disney Plus shows. Agent Carter would have been a Disney Plus show, because that's what these shows serve, is to not only answer the questions that they don't have time to get into in the films, but to put the characters in the positions they need them to be in without having to waste 20 to 30 minutes of the film getting them there. Because even when I was sitting here thinking about it, I was like, if they had just did a Captain America 4 movie, they would have had to spend the first 30 minutes to 45 minutes of the film dealing with him, like the shit he was dealing with. Maybe I shouldn't take the shield. I'm a black man. What does that mean? How do a black man do? Like, black men in the military have always had a choppy history. I'm not Steve. Like, all these different things that he was dealing with and he was going through, and all the proving stuff he had to do. They would have to do all that in Captain America 4. Now they don't. Now when Wanda shows up in Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness and she's a powerhouse on his scale, we are more willing to believe that. When she shows up and she has the outfit on, we're not like, wow, that just came out of nowhere. We saw it. When she shows up and she has the Darkhold, we don't have to ask questions about it. That is what these Disney Plus shows are all about, is putting people in positions. So with Hawkeye, when Kingpin shows up in later stuff, we don't have to even wonder like, oh, that's out of nowhere. No, we'll know where. When Kate and him are chilling, we will understand when Yelena and Kate have banter, and when Yelena and Hawkeye know each other and are cool, we don't even have to think about that question. When Hawkeye's wife turns out to be Mockingbird and starts whooping ass, and I don't know, the next Avengers film where she just gets a cool sequence, we don't have to ask like, when did that happen? That is what these Disney Plus shows are all about. And if that is the goal, if that is what Kevin Feige has chosen to use Disney Plus for, to pretty much like carry the lore load, so to speak, that off of some of the other films, so that he can just kind of tell more of a story inside these other films because he doesn't even have to deal with it because he explained it on the Disney Plus shows, then that's a perfect use for it. It's a perfect use for it. I just wanted to put my thoughts out there on this because it's something that I noticed, and I was curious if anyone else noticed it as well. Anyways, thank you guys for joining the Copyright Movie Show. Please like, subscribe, and do you agree with me? Do you think, like, when you really take a step back and look at it, do you believe that the Disney Plus shows really what they are prologues to the films, are designed to simply put these characters in positions they need them to be in for the films, so that way they can relieve the burden off of these films of having to explain as so much. Relieve the burden of having to wait so long to, like, they could just put the piece here and not even have to, get into it. That's what I believe anyways. Thank you guys for joining the Comic Movie Show again. Please like, subscribe, and I shall see you on the next one. Goodbye.